region, and we head straight to Kisumu County, where the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Chris Kiptoo, will be visiting Kisumu County to meet with various environmental agencies to discuss about Lake Victoria pollution. Our reporter, Kevin Ogutu, is closely following that story and now joins us live from the lakeside town. Kevin Ogutu, good morning. Talk to us about, the kind of pollution that is happening in Lake Victoria.
Well, very good morning, Brenda, and we're coming right from Kisumu, where, as you mentioned, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Dr. Chris Kiptoo, is in town to meet various stakeholders when it comes to matters pollution. So from what we've gathered from his itinerary is that he will be, first of all, he's making a courtesy call at the Regional Commissioner's office, and then after that there will be a press briefing at Tomboya Labour College, which will now be followed by the visiting of the various sites where there have been serious allegations of pollutions, institutions that largely contribute towards the pollution of Lake Victoria. Remember, this is something that falls squarely on his docket as the PS in charge of environment and the Minister of Environment and Forestry. So he's here to ensure that the reports, the kind of really damaging reports that have been made in the past and also the ones that have been running currently are looked into. Now, Brenda, it is important to note that we have a number of institutions that where we've pointed fingers have been pointed at them with regards to pollution like Victoria. One of them is Mombasa University, the kind of sewage treatment that they have, the system that they have. There have been allegations from various quarters, especially the environment and human rights groups, that what they discharge into the various water bodies, which in turn take this particular material to Lake Victoria, are not fit for the environment and also for the wildlife and human consumption, that is. So Mombasa University will be the first stop. After that, there will be Kodiaga prison, what we call Kisumu Maximum Security Prison. Remember, this was a prison that was established way back in the 1960s or earlier, but after that, we've had an influx, an increased number of inmates and staff, while the structures have remained the same. So there have also been concerns regarding the kind of material, the sewage water, so to speak, that come from the various oxidation ponds that are then released into some streams, which later on find their way to Lake Victoria and contributing to the pollution. Apart from Kodiaga Prison, we also have the Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company, which is the body mandated largely to treat the sewage from the various households, and also the treated sewage materials from the various industries that operate within the city. And then it is only safe amounts, safe sewage water that's allowed into Lake Victoria. So there was a damaging report 1 week ago regarding the kind of material that find its way to Lake Victoria from the sewerage plant at Kisat that is owned by the Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company. So as the PS and the Minister of Environment and Forestry comes, we will be asking him hard questions regarding the kind of tests that were done, which showed that the water coming from the sewage plant at the Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company have got what we call heavy metals like lead, and they also have some bacteria that's normally found in fresh human dung like E. coli. So those are some of the questions we'll be asking him on what now becomes of the quality of water as being alleged, because even after that report came out, the Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company, together with the county government of Kisumu, were quick to really demystify the kind of report, saying that it is only a water resource authority that is mandated to give a true position of the quality of the sewage water that finds its way into Lake Victoria. And that brings us to this authority, the Water Resource Authority. Other people have been asking, where is it? Even as the PS in charge of, in the Ministry of Environment and Forestry comes down to Kisumu to engage the stakeholders, the question from some quarters, those who are conscious about the environment issues, they've been asking me, what do you think of the absence of the Water Resource Authority? Remember, this is the only body that is mandated to control pollution and improve quality of water in the country's water bodies. And one of the water bodies, of course, is Lake Victoria. So the Water Resource Authority has got a very big mandate, and as the PS comes, one of the questions that we'll be asking him is, what is the position of the Water Resource Authority, even as you make these two meeting various stakeholders?
So Kevin,
and after that, we'll have...
Ogutu, if you can hear me, talk to us about the seriousness of the pollution. So how serious is the pollution in Lake Victoria?
Well, the pollution is serious, so to speak, because one of the recent reports were backed by scientific investigation. They took samples from Lake Victoria, and then they realized that we have got heavy metals. Then we also have bacteria, E. coli, that is normally found in fresh human dung, which means if at all the kind of report that we have is anything to go by, then the pollution is so serious, and it's so serious, and I think it needs a multi-sectoral intervention, because despite some of these industries around Kisumu being accused of polluting Lake Victoria, we have seen nothing much being done. The truth of the matter is that the pollution here is grave, but we need to know who exactly is doing that, and supported by evidence. Remember, as I mentioned, we have the Water Resource Authority, which on its website admits that we have pollution from various industries around Lake Victoria that contribute to the pollution of the very lake that's supposed to give life to the residents around here. So, Brenda, the truth of the matter is that we have serious pollution cases at the Lake Victoria. But now we need to find out, backed by scientific evidence, who is contributing what quantities. Remember, one of the places that the PS will be visiting is the Bunga slums, where sometimes we have open defecation. So when it rains, all the dirt find their way to Lake Victoria. So the question is, how much is who contributing towards